This week on RSBANDB Update, we make our video debut in the lack of an apparent RuneScape update. Nonetheless, we got the quest point shop, player-owned farms, and an update on clans. Plus, is Google being monopolistic? This is RSBANDB Update, episode 680, recorded Wednesday, July 18th, 2018. The video Iceberg. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again for RSBANDB Update. This week we're back with another episode discussing various RuneScape updates that are very, very tiny in nature. But as we have been alluding to for the last month and a bit, we did reach that tier on Patreon for the video show support, and we're happy that we can reveal that this week. And you know, I haven't done that. You guys watching on the video right now will just see the desktop. And what do you guys think? Should we blast these on and turn them on?
Are you asking me, or is this like a Dora the Explorer talking to the listeners thing, and they're all supposed to go, yeah!
All right, then. Well, let's do it. There we go. Welcome to RSBANDB Update video, everyone. This will probably be on the YouTube channel, assuming we have no major technical snafus with OBS, which, I mean, is entirely possible, but hey. Failing that, there will be the good old-fashioned audio version of RSBANDB Update, because let's face it.
You did hit record, right?
Yes, I did hit record. I did hit record in both places. So I do have the backup audio recording and the video recording going. So we should be covered. Good. We should be covered. So, joining us this week, Tanis, you're here as you are each and every week. Welcome back.
Thank you, Shane.
And also Earth joining us for this episode once again. Thank you for being here.
Howdy.
You guys probably remember Earth from his time on the podcast long, long ago.
I was here 2 weeks ago.
Well, you were there, you know.
And it's only fitting for him to be on the first video podcast. So
True.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an entire planet, right?
Yeah.
So
calling me fat, Shane?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. So you guys ready to go into the RS update of the week here?
We have an RS update?
Yeah, we do. They're calling it a patch week like an iceberg because they say this week's update is slightly different than usual, and a lot has changed, but only a very little is going to be visible for everyone. And the reason, of course, for this is because they're making a number of changes that are for RuneScape Mobile. And, you know, we heard about this in the live stream last week, but I don't think we would expect to be seeing these very fast. So with this, I think I just want to jump into the patch notes for the week, and we'll go over some of the various RS Mobile aspects of it in just a moment here. Because there were some things I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed anything. Actually, Tanis, you probably didn't since you used the screen magnifier. And most of these things are... I hate to say it this way, but most of the things that came in this week are difficult in terms of usability for the desktop users, believe it or not. So we'll get to that in just a moment.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'll just get to that in a moment because one of them was just utterly baffling. But anyways, so in the patch notes this week, Jackie the Fruit will now also sell unnoted herbs from the Agility Arena store in Brimhaven. So I'd like to ask, when was the last time anyone went to the Agility store in Brimhaven to buy herbs?
That's an Iron Man update, apparently.
Oh, okay.
No one else is going to be doing that.
Okay. Neat.
I'm sure there's probably better ways for them to get herbs, but that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, they can farm them, right? So that's going to be it.
Hey, ain't going to farm them, but, I mean... Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, you can farm all of those. I mean...
And, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that there wasn't a larger update with the Brimhaven Agility store, but oh well. Or the Brimhaven Agility Arena. Hopefully we can hold out for that at some point in the future. Following up from this one we had last week, it's no longer possible to use bladed dive when transmogrified into certain NPCs. So basically, if you were, say, I'm guessing one of the Daruk ones that came from the May post-Repeat event, you would be able to effectively lunge across the map as one of those characters. And last week we had the great one where if you were a sheep in Castle Wars and you used bladed dive, you would go flying through the Castle Wars arena as a sheep, and you could even leave that area. So,
Oh, good.
yeah, definitely. They've also added an option to choose or cycle between targeted NPCs, and you can head to the control settings to customize the keybinds for this. And this is another RS mobile update, which is aimed at, I guess, improving the combat flow for mobile. Basically, the idea behind this is you'll be able to press tab and swap between different targets and whatnot on the desktop, or select the closest one, select whichever one is aggroing you. And I think that's a
That's kinda
natural
cool,
progression for
actually.
combat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. That's something that you can do in Star Trek Online, and I always find it really helpful. Although I don't know, I mean, the combat system in that is completely different, so I don't know how much use this will actually be.
Yeah, and I think at this point, most people here are going to be doing this with, for 120 Slayer, going for Slayer, and they're going to be using AoE abilities. So, unless you're specifically targeting something down, you're going to stick with that AoE. Now, here's the big one. Performed maintenance on approximately 300 interfaces across RuneScape in preparation for mobile, such as the Berthorpe Games Room, Pest Control Reward Shop, Remote Farm, and much, much more. The Pest Control Reward Shop one does look good, I will say that. I did go look at that one.
Do you have any screenshots for us?
No, I don't. I didn't actually think of taking any screenshots for these. Another one they revamped was the clan system, specifically the clan rank interface and the clan permissions interface. That looks a lot more modern now than it did previously. It was a proprietary UI before, apparently, and that has been brought into modern standards with that. Now, one that really got me with this was the Soul Wars reward shop. That was something that they did with this as well. And the unfortunate side about this one for Soul Wars was that there is now no mouse over text if you're on the desktop client. There is no examine info. And in order to determine what something is or how much it costs, you need to right-click and choose value for that. So that one is almost a mobile interface gone completely mobile, reliant on, the touch buttons and whatnot. So it would be nice to see a full list of these so we could go out and see what was happening with this one. I think we found a few here. I don't know where the rest of them are going to be. So this is something I guess the RS players can look at as they progress through it. But
I am going to Soul Wars right now to go look.
Yeah.
It's not a fun experience, I'll tell you that much.
Well,
with it.
is there anything in that reward shop that you can't get from Thaler points?
That's true.
And I wonder if they did the same crap to the Thaler shop, because that is a giant step backwards for this is a giant step backwards for anyone that is not playing mobile. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Though I think the Thaler shop on its own was already something that was relatively modern looking.
Okay.
Though not 100% sure on that. Did you make it to Soul Wars?
I'm still running there.
Okay. And this is what Sirion and I talked about last week in the mobile Q&A with this, is that you have these updates coming in, but at the same time you want to see the game improve, but there's some of these updates that might not be improvements for the desktop users and might be a little bit too far. So, and these are just the ones that I saw, so I don't know what the other ones are going to look like with that.
Yeah, and
Wait,
that was a
what?
worry.
Xanac is the Soul Wars person
Oh,
now?
that's spoilers after Nomad's Requiem.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
I
afraid
forgot
of
about
though.
that.
When when they first announced mobile, I was afraid of this, and
Talk
then
about rewards.
What do you think of that
I'd
UI?
like to take a look. Yes, let's take a look. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it doesn't really need. I mean,
I was more concerned for the pets, because how do you know?
yeah. So I click value. Is that the left click too? Like, yeah, it is. And then you have to do right click buy. And then you can buy a random item for Tuesday. Okay, yeah, no, I don't like that interface. What's another one I should go look at?
Pest control was good, though. I mean, I don't think we should go through all of these interfaces because I'm not sure where the bulk of them will be. The easiest one to get to would be the clan settings interface.
Ooh, that's a good point. Now, how the hell do I open clan settings?
Yeah, I almost kicked someone when I was looking at
It's
that.
Alright,
hidden.
so I just bind it. Like, that's my workaround here. So, if I can even find it in the Windows navigation thing. Clan chat list, maybe? There it is. Okay. Clan settings. Clan settings. This looks the same.
Okay. Well, they might have give it a little bit of an update then. So, anyways,
Yeah, it might be laid out a little differently, but it looks mostly the same to me.
so these are the kinds of changes we got this week and are being, slipstreamed in for mobile and whatnot. And this tells me that we're getting closer to a beta on mobile. So I think my estimates are on par, but we'll talk more about that later in questions. So with that being said, I'd like to move over to the QuestPoint reward shop because this is a bit of a dev blog that came out just as we were finishing post-production last week on the show. And, this is something that people have wanted for a long time, something that we can do with quest points, and it has been an update that has been talked about for a while and was pulled very high on the list of topics in this year's survey. So I'll just read a bit from this post here. So this starts with a very new JMod here, Mod Kylar, and he says, Shawnee's asked me to write a bit of an introduction as a part of this post. So given that it's my first communication with you, I'm Mod Kylar, and no points if you Google the reference there. This person's been playing RS on and off since 2005, so he's coming into the company with quite a large awareness of how the game has changed and evolved over years. And as a player, he has all 99s, a Master Quest Cape, and is slowly working towards comp. So his first project is going to be the Quest Point shop, and this is the working title. And he wanted to know what the players were interested in as a result of this. So some questions to think of. What are the top things up to 3 that make you want to do a quest? What are the top things that discourage you from completing a quest? What sort of rewards would you like to see from the Quest Point shop? And one of the things that we've been discussing in the studio is whether or not someone with max quest points should be able to unlock everything on release. Alternatively, should they have to decide which rewards they value the most and only unlock further rewards as more quests are released? So this is the very first opening discussion on this. So what do you guys think of the Quest Point shop based on what we know so far?
If someone's done everything, then I think a nice way to do it would have quest points as one thing, but not make that the only one, because for the Master Quest Cape you have to do stuff like burying Clarence or whatever his name is. You should get points for that too, even though you wouldn't get quest points for that. But if you've done all of that, if you have the Master Quest Cape, then yes, absolutely, you should be able to buy everything in the shop right away. There's no reason you should have to wait.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Totally makes sense. We have some more information on this from the live stream, but we'll get there after we talk about these questions.
Actually, I take that back. You could do that, or if you don't want to do that, you can trade stuff back in 1 for 1. Like, you can get a full refund if you want it back. That may be another way to do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that because there's some preliminary design that's actually already happened with this. So what are the top things that make you want to do a quest? I'll start with this. Number 1, story. Number 2, how traditional of a quest is it? And number 3, does it continue one of the arcs that's in-game already? And it's for that reason that I am severely looking forward to Elemental Workshop Part 5.
Hell is wrong with you, Shane?
Elemental Workshop is a great quest series. It's got lots of story. It's a traditional quest, and it's a part of a huge lineage.
It's terrible. I don't even remember what the story was other than that. You know what I remember about that whole quest line?
That puzzle taking like 6 hours. Yeah.
That's it.
What's wrong?
Terrible.
Okay.
I don't know. But Shane, you're not alone. There does seem to be a minority of players that really like Elemental Workshop, but
they're wrong. But...
Yeah. I think they're also the kind of, I mean, I don't know. Do you like getting beat with a whip or something? Getting
In case you haven't noticed, I'm trying to provide subtle points of suggestion that will bring this quest into existence.
Yeah.
Subtle. Hey, I would like Elemental Workshop Part 5. That's about as subtle as a freight train, Shane.
All right, what makes you guys want to do quests?
Lore.
Okay.
For me, it's rewards and then story. But it's not so much that anymore since they're not voicing the quest anymore. Because I don't want to sit there and like read a 2-hour quest deal. It's just no.
All right. What discourages you guys from doing quests, completing quests?
All that shit with Nonethless.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nonethless rep. That's definitely something.
Yeah.
And also absurdly difficult combat. There hasn't been one since
Endgame.
For me, since really Nomad's Requiem, like way before EOC, like when it first came out. It was actually difficult.
How many
I don't
tries
think
did
it's
that take
difficult.
you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Though that was also when I had like a really shitty Dell laptop. So it was slow. So it's just a frustrating time.
Alrighty then. Rewards from the Quest Point shop. You know, I know there are lots of people who are going to say replayability of quests, but that's never going to happen.
Nope.
I would like to have a reimbursement of all my treasure hunter points from the past that I never did get from those quests.
I think that's something else that they should do. Can I help you, Stella? Can you see her?
No.
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 I just want something rewarding. Like, every time they give us a good quest reward, they end up nerfing it a week later. And it's like, what was the point? Why'd I spend my time doing this quest?
Kind of like the Darklight changes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's happened repeatedly. You know, I don't know why they can't reward a quest. They put so much in development time and money and effort to get people to play these quests, and then they give you a lamp for 20K. Oh, gee, thanks. That's really going to get me to want to go do a quest. Like, the shop can help this, but they're going to have to come up with some decent rewards.
Yeah. And you know, I'm going to actually go out on a limb here and say one thing that would be really good from this is, and I think Reed will know where I'm going with this once I start talking about it, is that have the quest points be effectively points to unlock something, and then what you can do is there be different progression tracks that offer you various aspects that are tailored to very specific lore storylines. So for instance, you would have an elf track, you would have a desert track, you could have a Majorat track, and so on and so forth, and you could just spend your quest points to unlock various nodes in these progression tracks, and moving through each of those progression tracks would grant you something that might be related to that area, might be kind of auxiliary to the achievement diary kind of stuff for that area, or
so the reputation system from Stowe, is that what you're referring to?
Precisely,
Shane?
except unlocked by doing quests, and you choose where to spend in. And this goes into the next question here, is that, you know, should someone with max quest points be able to unlock everything on the release? No. You know, I think if, you know, for example, they released 4 different tracks, if they went with this idea, you would be able to release, you know, just or unlock 2 of them, say, for example, right off the bat. And then as more quests come out, you would be able to fill them in.
But see, I disagree with that, because what if someone hasn't done any quest? So every quest that they come in, they get to unlock something. But someone that's already done it, they don't get to unlock.
Well, you wouldn't be able to unlock
although they've
everything.
already done.
You wouldn't be able to unlock everything, though.
But you've already done the work, so why do you have to wait for another quest to come out to be able to unlock something else? You've already done the work. Like, that doesn't seem fair to me.
Well, maybe they could change it then so that it's more of a tech tree kind of thing.
That might be a compromise.
Yeah. And I think there might be some of that already going on, but we'll wait till we get to the live stream part of that. So that's largely on there right now in terms of the initial questions, and then just some other information to gather data about what kind of players are answering the survey. You know, are you PVM or PvP or quest or skill or so on and so forth? How many quest points do you have? How long you've been playing? And what are your current combat level and skill total? So I don't know. I think this is going to be a good update based on how this looks, and based on what the JMod said when he was introducing himself with this. So we'll leave it at that. But there was more in the live stream this week on this, and in particular, I just want to circle back here to the one point in the live stream about this. So. He was asked by, I believe it was Mod Raven, if you could add one thing to RuneScape, what would it be? And this is what gives me hope about this. He said it would be a quest, that you would get a new quest each and every day that you log in, and you would be able to basically do quests whenever you want. So
like Radiant quests from Skyrim?
I guess, maybe. But he did change the answer, and the answer was changed to be something that a lot of people are going to enjoy. So I think rather than just saying what it was, I'll just play that right now from the live stream.
Oh, look at you.
So one thing is like a quest a week. It's a commitment to one recurring thing.
No.
Whilst
I personally would love that.
Hypothetical situation where if we could do that.
A single thing. So if you were to do a single quest, or if you were to do a single update of some kind.
A proper Brassica quest.
Good.
What the hell?
And that
Didn't we already do that?
No.
I thought we did something with the cabbage, or
that is the cabbage.
The cabbage.
And this is why the guy doing this, it gives me hope, because there's no one more central to RuneScape lore than the cabbage.
Really?
You guys don't seem impressed.
No. It was fine for the Gower Brothers. It was the Gower Brothers quest, right? That had
it
was fine for that. I don't.
It has been.
It might have been
beaten
joking
to death.
It might have been joking, but let's just wait and see.
We can only hope.
I don't think he was joking. I mean, remember last time they brought out Brassica and was it Harambe of Karamja, whatever it was. It's just, no. I mean, it's great for the questers. I'm happy for you guys. You don't always get a whole lot. So now you have a JMod on your side. But I am not happy about one quest a week.
There you go, Shane.
No, we're not beating a dead horse, Jeff. Ay. All right. So continuing on from the live stream, some of the rewards from this will be quest point armor and a quest point based weapon. It'll be hybrid armor at levels 25, 50, and 75. Now, there's going to be a set effect with this, and that aims to help players with quest bosses. So the more that a player struggles on a quest boss, the more that armor set will help them along the way.
I think that's really cool. Like, I think that's the best reward in
that would have been really good for Nomad's Elegy, right?
Yeah, it would be good for a lot. I mean, for a lot of them. The boss at the end of Plague's End would help with that too.
What was the reward? Say it again?
Basically, it would be a set of hybrid armor, and as the player goes through a quest, if they encounter more struggles, it will help out their combat abilities. So.
Oh, that's neat. So is this just a suggestion somewhere?
No, this was actually something that was in the live stream by that JMod.
Oh.
Yeah.
The only thing that, like, I wish they said it wasn't going to work for the Dominion Tower, which I wish it did, because
let's not talk about that.
The Dom Tower is not fun. Have you ever tried to do the dwarves in the Dom Tower? I mean,
no,
we don't talk about the Dwarven quest.
There's also going to be a quest point Lorehound dog, which is effectively a hound dog. It'll be a basic new pet. There'll be new lore-based activities to do with the pet that will change its appearance and give it its own set of armor.
I want to make a request right now,
please,
to Jagex. When the Lorehound, for its release, please put Mod Osborne in an Elvis suit coming out singing, "You ain't nothing but the Lorehound." Yeah.
I don't. It's gonna get flagged again.
What?
It's gonna get flagged again.
Oh.
Yeah, when we did the Temple of Amanishi episode, for whatever reason, we were talking about raids. YouTube thought this was a World of Warcraft video.
Is it going to think this is like from Graceland or something?
It might, depending on your singing skill.
It's not good.
It's Mod Osborne. Hello.
Oh my.
Hello, puppy.
She knows you're talking about puppies, so that's what caused her to spring into action. And there's going to be a third set of rewards that he says will be useful during quests or in post-quest activities, and it'll be unlocked by allocating quest points on a track of progression. So,
Isn't that what you were just talking about?
Kind of, yeah. Except mine's a little bit more in depth.
Right.
And they did answer that question about the quest cape. He says if you have a quest cape, you won't be able to unlock everything at launch. You will be able to unlock 2.5 of the sets, so not all 3, and you can reset your allocations to change your track if you so desire.
So pretty much what I said.
Yeah. So we seem to be on the same page here largely with this. So I'm actually pretty optimistic about this. I think it's going to go in a good way, and I mean the Brassica part and just the fact it's a quester doing this update gives me lots of certainty about it, at least until it arrives.
So we're getting a combat outfit or armor set and a pet. Is that it?
There's going to be other little things that are going to help you. Either while doing quests or in post-quest activities. They didn't really have much information on what those are.
So I think, so combat is hard for certain questers, right?
Sure.
Like, that seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
But what about the puzzles and stuff like that for the people that aren't big, huge questers, and it's a pain in the butt. Like, well, and sometimes they're just hard to do. But they're just inaccessible. Like, couldn't we get a reward that would make that easier? Or something? I mean, they're giving it to combat, so what? Why not the puzzles?
I mean, I don't think you can make a puzzle easier without doing it for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think there's differing degrees of puzzle difficulty, you know? Like, what would you guys say was the hardest puzzle you've done on one of these quests?
Probably Morning's End Part 2.
Yep, okay. That's where my brain was going.
I mean, that maze one wasn't difficult. It was just long. About
maze
4 times as long as it should have been.
Oh, Sliske's Endgame.
Yeah.
Oh.
The house one that I won't
Broken
acknowledge
Home?
exists. Yeah, maybe.
I
don't
knocked
know.
that out twice in under 35 minutes. Or in under,
What's
in
wrong
under 30
with
minutes.
you? Oh,
38
there you
minutes.
go.
You know, there was already another one at about 15 minutes in that you let slip, but that's okay. I'll just
Wait, I said earlier?
Yeah, you did. And I can show it now. This is our edit notes that we actually do this on these podcasts here. So
yeah, Shane made me promise, but I could only say, well, I told him I had to try not to swear, but you know.
For the first video episode, I want to get the video workflow down and ensure it works. And
if you can edit this out easily, like I'm giving you lots of practice. You should be thankful.
I think you just go with a beep and then put a little funny thing over his mouth, you know, so it's like, oops. Just goes, whoop, oops.
My Windows computer just woke up for some reason.
Oh, nice.
Anyways.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, carry on.
Yeah. Back on track with that. So, next up comes the player-owned farm.
Oh, I bet you're really excited about this, Shane.
Yeah, you know, it actually looks pretty good based on what we have here so far. So, it's going to have...
Stop!
I assume you're having animal troubles.
Yes, this one right here. Can y'all see?
There we go.
It's being very bad.
Anyways, 17 farming, 20 construction to get started with the player-owned farm, 40 farming and 60 construction for the higher level plots, and there will be some that require even higher level ones, such as the dragons and whatnot. So that's all. That's all in terms of possibilities for farming levels. So it starts relatively low. There's going to be a tutorial, and that'll cover basic aspects of running your own farm and how it works with the various perks and whatnot and the various animals. There'll also be something called contract buyers that appear. These will be buyers that want to buy certain types of animals. They'll reward you magic beans, which is the currency for this. And there's going to be 7 pens. There's going to be 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large pens, and a breeding pen. So you will be able to breed the animals together just like you can breed Pokemon. All right.
Okay.
Interesting.
I was expecting more of a reaction than that from that,
well,
but that's okay.
I mean, it's pretty much, well, I think it's because it's pretty much exactly what we've heard,
yeah,
you know, over and over. There was no surprises. It was right on par with what they've been telling us.
And that's exactly it. And you know, it's all coming together. You can see the farm in their stream they did, and you know, it's south of Ardoin, and it's basically in a point now where it just needs to be balanced and bug tested and whatnot. And they're aiming for release in early September on this, so it'll be done before then, they say, but it'll definitely be around in September. So that's something that I guess we can all look forward to. When you interact with a pen, the pen will show the animals there, and you will also have access to your inventory for those. So you'll be able to add in all the various farm animals that you have. You'll be able to either pick up the farm animals from monsters or pick them up from trading with other players. And following Hunter, right? Forgot about Hunter. And then gathering. The zygomites come from gathering too, which was interesting. Disease, they basically adjust the stats of your animals in a negative way. The animals won't die, so they did keep that aspect out of it for those of us here who don't want to see little creatures die. I'm sure there are going to be people who are happy about that. We already know from previous streams that slaughtering is off the table.
Damn.
But if you neglect your animals, what's that teaching the kids?
You're just going to get less XP for it. So, and there were questions when this was initially being developed: is that would slaughtering be a thing? And they decided no. So,
it's just too bad because we already do that. That's the first thing you do when you start this game.
Kill cows.
You go in the cow pit. So, yeah.
Let's see. What else did we learn here? Someone was wondering why it wasn't in the POH, and they said they wanted to create a shared piece of content, and putting it on the surface world creates more potential for interaction among players. And when
I guess.
Yeah. And, I mean, this is, if you go back to the documents in RS Classic, this is what carpentry and farming were initially designed to be, was communal plots where people could interact. And here we are, 15 years later, we're finally getting it. So
damn commies.
That's right. Better dead than red.
Wow. Okay.
What?
No, just that comment. Better dead than red. I didn't think that would ever come up on RSBANDB update, but okay.
It has.
Yeah. Harvesting the animal, you'll get XP for each stage. Materials will also be given at each stage that are related to farming. So basically the idea behind this is that you'll get things that you can already get on the surface world, but these will be things that are going to be used for the skilling potions, which are also going to be a reward from this. So these are going to be the secondaries from that. No details on what the actual potions will do, so that's something that is forthcoming.
When I heard that, I was really wondering, what kind of skilling potion can they make that is going to be better than a perfect juju? Or it's the perfect juju where it's everything for 24 hours. I feel like on the potion level, we're so good. There's no way to make those better than what we have. I don't understand where they're going with it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see what the potions are.
Yeah.
Now comes the point where we talk about breeding. You'll get different colored animals when you breed them, and they said there will be a chance for shiny animals that will grant you more XP. So once again, taking from the Pokemon page there of shinies and whatnot. So that'll be interesting to see what can come from that. And they bred 2 rabbits together with this, and they got a new rabbit coming out called Richard. So, and you'll be able to harvest them for XP just like you harvest all the other ones. And there's also going to be traits. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we don't have details on what all the traits will do. But each animal can have potentially up to 3 different traits. So,
and you can get different ones with breeding, right? That's the whole thing behind the breeding, is to get certain traits you want.
Yeah, and the thing that is missing to me is that aside from harvesting the animals, for XP, what is the point of the traits aside from getting more XP? Though maybe I might be asking too much for that.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I mean, traits
I thought
are
there was
good,
talk of a shop or something, right?
Yeah, the Magic Bean Shop, and I do actually have some of the information here on the rewards from that. So the skilling potion secondaries, which we already talked about, bank chest. You can purchase the ability to get a bank chest at the farm. Something called a seasonalizer. They didn't say exactly what it was. An ability or perk to note the produce that comes from the farm and have it automatically go into the troughs. And ultra compost is another thing. They said this will come from the dragon poop because you can have dragons. Those were their exact words.
Can we get a big shovel? Because
no, they use the normal shovel.
That's going to take a while.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's progressing nicely. I want to see more of what the rewards are and what the final XP values are going to be, and then we'll see how this factors into the general state of farming. But, you know, unlike other things that have been put into the game that have been passed on as farming, like the Livid Farm, for example, I think this fits in quite well. It's not bad like the Livid Farm was. So.
Well, it's actual farming, so
exactly,
I mean, or it has an actual farming connection.
It's more like ranching, but hey, that's part of the farming skill, and it's better than making it its own elite skill. You know, like you can get most of the benefit here, as we're seeing, by just doing that. Because I think that was a discussion point at one point in time as well. So
yeah, glad they didn't go in that direction.
Indeed. All right, so moving on from the player-owned farm, there was a section on the clan system and the avatar improvements that are on the way. So basically, you're going to get a number of boosters when this update comes in. It'll be based on the number of orts that you have, which are, of course, those little pieces of clan currency that you pick up, and you could feed them to the avatar to get charges and whatnot for. And then these boosts will either give you more XP in the Citadel or increase the rate at which you cap in the Citadel. So I think this is a good change because no one ever really liked collecting those orts, I think. Right?
No, they're just really annoying.
And I don't like having to remember to go to an avatar and pay it.
Yeah. Also, with this update is going to be the clan log, which will be an option to display the number of members in your clan, the number of people who have capped this week, and the number of people who have made fealty towards the avatar as well this week. So just a little bit
public
to see
shaming. How
many people are doing that. And, you know, I think there's going to be a lot more people doing it because it gets easier. So we'll talk about that in just a wee bit here. They're also bringing in the clan message of the day. So you can pop a message in and it'll be displayed to all your clan members when they log in. Or what?
All right.
Does this go live?
Unknown. Why? What are you thinking of doing?
Nothing. No, I could not abuse that in any way. No. Nope, I have absolutely, and this would be broadcast to everyone.
Everyone who logs in, and, you know, it won't be every login, so if you log out for 6 hours, you'll then see it again, so.
Well, yeah, no, I don't have any ideas of what I could possibly do with that. No, sirree.
Next up is clan mute. You'll be able to mute individual members without kicking them. And
that's the nice intermediate step.
Yeah, I agree. This next one is big. You'll be able to now set which ranks can kick. It'll still have to be admin plus, but if you wanted to make it only owner, you wanted to make it deputy owner, you could do that as well.
Man, we've been wanting that for years and years and years and years, and I'm glad it's finally coming into game. If you've ever been a victim of a rogue admin just going batshit crazy and kicking half of a clan, you would know how desperately we needed that.
Yeah, it's looking like Clan Quest is going to have to do another rank rework with the avatar changes in this now, I think. We can give out these ranks a lot easier than we could before.
Well, and we have like a ton of wardens because
us too.
You know, you have to have enough of them to have one out at all times. So this is going to make things a lot better. But at the same time, I think a lot of clans are in the spot where they're going to be like, all right, well, what do we do now? Because we actually don't need all these people with access to do things. You know,
and you know, I think, you know, I can speak as from the leadership side of it. Clan Quest is in a position where we have always been fairly liberal with the ranks that we give out, And because of that, anyone who basically wants to be an avatar warden, all they need to do is fill out a little form, and we do a couple little checks here and there, and lo and behold, you have it. So
unless you're
being able to change
literally
these
the
would be
worst
fun.
person ever, you'll probably get it.
Yeah, and another,
even then,
the thing that this is something that goes through my mind with this is we use this as a jumping off point to see who is responsible and who has the leadership chops and whatnot, and that builds loyalty with the clan, determines who might be up for future positions. So we'll have to find something else for that now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Clan Notice Board, they added a whole new selection of new options to this, including Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2?
Huh?
God Wars 2 bosses. For some reason, I thought
okay.
GW2 was Guild Wars 2. I don't know what.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, God Wars 2 bosses, the individual ones. Mazcab raids, Eastern Lands Islands, deep sea fishing, and many, many more things have been added with this. Now,
I think that's great.
Yeah, definitely. When Mod Shani was listing these off, the list was just very big. So now, Clan Avatar changes. It's now as simple as attuning yourself to the avatar in the Citadel to get the boost. It's a 3% base XP boost, 1% for each fealty level you have, up to 6% in total boost. You no longer need to have the avatar pet follow you around, and the capping mechanism has been changed so that as soon as you gather 900 resources, whatever it might be, you get your 3 points of fealty. And I think we're all very thankful for that.
Yeah, very much. The one thing that I'm wondering about, though, is since you don't have to have it following you around, does that mean we can actually have a familiar out and get our avatar boost? Because
yes,
that would be wonderful.
Yes.
Because I don't take the avatar out as much as I want to or should, because I always need to have that pet out. I really need that pet to help me not miss important items.
Yeah,
so
the only benefit you now get from the avatar following you is it will gather resources, in the same way it used to gather orts in the whatever resource your clan has been set to gather. So if you want your clan to gather wood, the avatar pet will gather wood for you as you're out doing your daily things.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So with the 900 resource caps, they actually made it so that it will be faster if you cap as a group. And with boosts and whatnot, each time XP was coming in when Mod Shani was demoing this, he was getting 25 resources per XP drop with this. So you'd be capped in no time with this.
Oh yeah, it's great.
What's the cap max? 900?
20.
700?
700,
yeah, 2,700. And 900 gets you all the fealty that you need. So
nice.
Very nice. Very nice. But that's pretty much it for this live stream. Anything else you guys have quest related, farming related, or clan related for this?
No, I think
logs. It does have logs. Wait, does it have admin logs though? That's my number one question here.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the most important thing ever.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And until that's here, these are nice, but
it's not optimal, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Well, wasn't there some changes that Shani talked about with the ban list, actually having a number, knowing how many people were on it?
That was with the clan log thing. You get a log.
Clan log.
Okay. How many are banned and whatnot.
Okay.
So
cool.
And that is something that we still do keep a paper copy of. The ban list, because anyone, I don't know what the rank is, but anyone can change that and mess with it. So.
Yeah. We keep a list of that as well. So okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like some good stuff coming.
Yeah, definitely, definitely very nice, very nice indeed. So I believe that's it for questions right now, but I'm sorry, I believe that's it for RS updates. So before we move on to questions, I would just like to take a moment here to thank our Patreon supporters for the week. You guys have been truly wonderful to us, and this week we have to thank Adam T, Rory W, Cody T, Nora, and Fury. You can find out what we're doing and more at patreon.com/RSBNB. And just in case you're, wondering what this might be all about here, basically what we're doing is that if you want to support RSBNB Update, you can do that. For $1 a month, you'll receive a special mention in our show notes, and you help RSBNB fund the costs for hosting and production of RSBNB Update. And for $3 a month, you receive a special VIP rank on our Discord server, if that's of interest to you, and a special mention on the podcast the week you subscribe, and early access to our show notes. In week there are show notes. There were no early show notes this week. And if you want to give the ultimate gift at $5 a month, you'll receive a shout-out on the podcast each and every week you're subscribed, and gain exclusive access to outtakes that we use for the RSBNB Update Clip Show. So all of that and more can be found at patreon.com/RSBNB. And last week we recorded our first, what we're calling the monthly bit. And we talked about the evolution of combat in the monthly bit, and where EOC started and where it's at today and where it can go in the future. So we'll be doing those shows each and every month. So you'll be able to listen to those on our Patreon page if you're subscribed. And, we came to a good understanding on this episode. It was really, I want to say, a learning experience for all involved, because we had people who were mechanically involved, Sirion. We had people who were, very deeply familiar with the combat system, David, and we all learned something together based on this, and that's what the monthly bit is going to be about going forward. It's just those little extra things about RuneScape that, we would like to talk about on RSBNB Update, but they don't necessarily fit into a show, and that's what we're doing with the monthly bit each and every month. And at the $30 tier, we're doing our video shows, which you guys are seeing right now. Everyone say hi, wave. There
Howdy.
you go. And if we reach $45 a month, we'll stream these live shows online and broadcast them. So all of this and more can be found at patreon.com/RSBNB. And once again, thank you to our Patreon subscribers, Adam T., Rory W., Cody T., Nora, and Fury. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Indeed. You guys ready for something different in terms of our questions this week? Something we haven't done before for RSBNB Update?
Yeah. It sounds interesting.
A video question from the RR man.
A video question.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
See, he's got the right idea.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, it's the RR man here, reporting in from beautiful New Zealand. Look at how majestic that is. All these trees. Yeah, beautiful. Anyway, it's nice to see you, literally, for a change. Just wanted to send in a quick question. So, yeah, this is definitely going to be looking for Earth's catchphrase on this one. But I want to know, what are some of the future topics that could show up on the monthly bit? And, yeah, that's basically it. And I also wanted to know, Shane, do you remember when you used to tell people you would, if they sold you, or I suppose not sold you, gave you a party hat, a white party hat I think it was, that you would actually show your face? Cat's interrupting the video. That's what we get with this sort of thing. Anyway, it's good to see you. And congratulations on all that Patreon success. I hope it keeps going up for you, and people should really jump in, because it's, yeah, come on, you deserve it. Peace out.
All right. So, we remember those days where the white party hat offers were coming in, but we couldn't do that because of real world trading. You guys remember that, right? Well, maybe not Tanis, that was before your time. But definitely, if you
remember that. You using that as an excuse to not do this, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was just an excuse.
Well, the technology didn't exist. The technology didn't.
Said it.
The technology didn't exist until last week.
Tanis, did you hear it?
I heard something that the technology didn't exist till last week. What? Wait a minute. I had webcams before last week, right? All right.
Well,
not in Shane's world.
Well, I don't want to talk about the miracle of technology we're using for this, just in case it decides to stop working.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
But,
so Shane, I couldn't see the video question, so that didn't work.
But the people who are watching it at the end of the day will see it. That's what counts.
But I can't, so I don't matter. Is what I'm hearing here.
No, you entirely matter, of course. So, monthly bit
So
topics.
what is my catchphrase?
That's what I wanted to know.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it
Is it
start
I don't
with
know.
a
swearing
end with the
profusely?
Ay, ay, ay.
Like,
I think you got a one-word catchphrase. It's easy to remember.
quick
Firefox?
and efficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Firefox?
Anyways,
Oh.
that could be it. Monthly bite topics, or monthly bit topics. Sorry, I keep calling it the wrong thing. Sirion's gonna hate me for that. So here's what we're looking at tentatively going forward with this. How much of a role do microtransactions truly have? Reimagining the RuneScape interface. That's gonna be a week and a half long production one for me and Sirion on that one.
Yeah. Sounds exhilarating.
Yeah. And that one could probably be 2 hours long too if we really wanted to.
Really? Is that all y'all are going to be able to do? Just 2 hours?
I mean, we could do more, but you got to keep it short, right?
2 hours.
Well, it's not a TED Talk, so let's,
The unproportional influence of the community, which translated neatly means official forums versus Reddit versus Twitter.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
PVM versus skillers versus questers.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Where do updates fall because of this, and what kind of game is RuneScape? That's the kind of questions we're aiming to answer with that one.
Oh, some good ones.
Hard-hitting questions right there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into
The
some
purpose
of
of the PMod, are they still even required these days?
Oh!
How does one become a PMod? If you know JMods, do you have a higher chance of becoming a PMod?
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
So did some of the people that become PMods.
Now here's another technical one. Building a better beta framework. Should there be a RuneScape test server? Should there be an NDA associated with the test server? For example, you get banned if you reveal too much information from the test server. Should playtesting continue with players being brought into Jagex HQ? Other ideas, Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Oh, let me add it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Great RuneScape Quiz.
What side would you be on, Shane?
What do you think?
He loves Star Wars.
That's what I thought.
The Great RuneScape Quiz and transportation in RuneScape. So
Transportation. Okay.
Exactly. So what we're going to be doing for August's monthly bit is we're going to take a number of these and we're going to throw them into a poll on the Patreon website, and the patrons will get to decide what our next monthly bit is going to be. And if there's a tie, then I'll tie break. So that's where we're going with that.
Is the transportation one is that just an excuse to have me back so I can complain about lodestones?
I think so, because you walk everywhere.
Yeah, it would be about lodestones, teleports. Is RuneScape too easy to get around kind of thing?
Shane's horse on a stick. He rides around.
Right. I still haven't sold that.
And you never will.
Yeah, I made fun of you for that. And you're like, I'm going to sell it. And then you still haven't. So I should have known.
Yeah, I might just disassemble it.
No, just get you a rainbow scarf, some short shorts, and go hopping around RuneScape. I think it would go really well. Some butterfly wings, right? Yeah? You seeing the vision here?
No, I don't like that. So...
Hey, we'll let you keep your farming cape on.
Yeah, it's got that nice gold trim on it, right, Shane?
There's no gold trim on the farming cape. It's all green. All green.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you have the trimmed one.
It's not gold, though. It's a lighter version of green. But,
Not one solid, nice green color.
No, okay, stop. I
like
want
the
that.
master race of farming capes. Like the one I have and you don't.
Uh-huh.
Because the keepsake thing wasn't around.
Yeah.
And you can never get it.
Yeah, that's why I need to make an
Ever.
Iron Man and do it again.
Yeah.
But then you still wouldn't have it on the account that matters. So
Yeah. Okay. That's torturing. That's torturing. Stop.
I know.
So, but yeah, basically we got all these great ideas here, and we're going to throw a few of them into a poll for the month of August, and we'll see what the people on Patreon want. So this is actually going to be a Patreon-driven podcast going forward on this, and I actually like that idea that it's driven by the community on this, because there's just so many things that we could talk about. It's just hard to choose which ones, So,
well, and it's a win-win because they're all good topics. Like I can't wait to talk about all of them. Well, except for the interface one, because I don't know shit about that. So
yeah. Well, I mean, you have the perspective from accessibility on it.
Yeah, that I do. Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah,
I'm not a fan of the interface. If you couldn't tell.
Oh,
from,
I know.
Little aside there.
So if you guys want to have a say in this, you want to listen to these great shows once they come out, you can subscribe at patreon.com/RSBANDB. So, and as for the white party hat, I am still taking a white party hat, but we're doing this on its own now. So if anyone ever wants to cough one of those up for me, I'll take it.
Isn't that bribery?
No.
World trading?
No, you're just giving me something. I'm not giving you anything in return.
exchange for something else?
Like what?
It sounds like bribery to me.
No.
Actually, that's I'm pretty sure that is the textbook definition of bribery there, Shin.
No, it's speech. They're just talking to him. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Right. It's just speech.
I see. It's not suspicious at all.
All right. Well, moving on to our next question here. This one comes from Chodo of Clan Quest. He says, so summer weekends are almost here once again. I've noted that Iron Men are excluded from some of the benefits and the ones that increase experience gains. However, Iron Men have always been permitted to take part on the beach and spring fair events. I keep saying this is ridiculous and it utterly destroys the DIY, do-it-yourself spirit, which was proposed to Iron Men players. What do you think about that? Do you think like me, or maybe you can change my mind? Number 2, what are your expectations on the upcoming RS3 mobile, upcoming TM, coming soon TM? And he read on Informer some days ago, and I saw Shane planning on doing a video show for the first time. So who's finally excited to see his presumably lovely face? So there we go. Those are from Chodo. Number 1, I actually agree. I think having the Iron Men not be allowed to do the beach stuff is a good thing, mainly because it's supposed to be a self-sufficient task, right? And it takes away from the value of it, just like old school was supposed to be a time capsule.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Oh,
I think that it's not like, I thought the point of it was that you're doing everything yourself, right? Like if you're grinding at this event,
you're doing it yourself.
You're doing it yourself, and you should be able to get the same thing as everyone else.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the beach. The other stuff, like the summer weekends, like I don't have a problem with them being excluded from that. But I also always come down on the side of you don't have to participate in any of these things, and I don't know why people get so riled and feel like their accomplishments are being devalued because someone else did Hunter at the spring fair catching ducks, and they did it the hard way by, I don't know.
Back in my day.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like if you're doing an Iron Man, you would want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
And there's the ultimate way of doing this as well, the way that no one ever thinks about, because it is prone to cheating, and that's making a classic Iron Man, the Iron Man that you could create before Iron Man mode. And I'll point to one of RSBANDB's friends and one of the famous RS players known as Metal Maniac 9, who was one of the first who did this and gathered everything himself, did everything himself, and this was before Iron Man actually became a thing. So it's not something that is just inherent to this one game mode, so you can play that way if you so desire on a normal account. So let's not forget about that as well. And the same thing goes for lamps and whatnot too. The treasure hunter lamps that come in.
Well, yeah.
It's like if these people are getting lamps, does it devalue the achievements another person gets? I don't think so. I think if it's something that you can buy with real money, then I think that goes against the spirit of the whole thing. But if it's something that you have to earn in game and you earn it just the same as anyone else, then that's fine. All right. So, beach, yes or no? Tennis?
Yes, on beach.
All right. How about the summer weekends?
I mean, it depends on what it is on the summer weekends, but I tend to go no.
All right.
What exactly is the summer weekends?
They're basically like the winter weekends. Do you remember those?
I don't.
All right. So I'll just do a quick run through of this because this was in last week's news post. But basically, what's happening with this is that from now until August 20th, each weekend, there will be given a number of different things that you could do. So, for example, 21st to 22nd of July is the Menaphos and Sophanum weekend. You'll get 50% increased reputation in Menaphos, amongst other things. The next weekend is the Skilling Bonanza, where divination risks will last twice as long. Fishing spots won't move around as much. Mining in trees will replenish quickly, that kind of thing. August 4th to 5th is Clue Scrolls. You'll get free Clue Scroll rewards each day. You'll get an improved chance to get Clue Scrolls, so on and so forth. You'll get a free clue every day from Jilly Willikers, the clown. August 11th to 12th is Combat, with more charm drops, 50% increased Slayer. So you get the idea.
I think everything, but there was one that was free treasure trail rewards.
Free
you get one every day.
A free Clue Scroll every week.
Maybe not that one. But
I don't think the 50% Slayer would be good either. Extra. I don't know.
I don't see a bonus as long as it's this. I don't see that as an issue as long as everyone else playing gets the same one.
Yeah, but they don't get double XP on double XP weekend. So
yeah, the Iron Man.
Yeah, the Iron Man don't.
I don't know, and I think we're heading into this gray area with Iron Man characters, where we're at a point where you could ultimately end up with a different class of character, and I think this opens up a huge opportunity for Jagex in that they could sell these extra characters. They would need to, I don't know, maybe pay an extra $1 or $2 on their monthly membership to play one of these. And you would get the membership benefits that you have on your main, but you would also get the membership on this character. And they could be these different classes of character. And where I'm going with this is you could have one for $1 a month, another for $3 a month, and another for $5 a month. And each of these would have different benefits associated with them. And the $5 benefit package for this extra character would have an option to have no treasure hunter or lamps thrusted upon you.
See, I think that would be great. I mean, that's great for the players, but is it great for their bottom line? Because right now, if you want an alt to have membership, you got to pay for it.
Pay the full price, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like the idea. I think that would be really great.
It's just a question of pricing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's standard membership price plus $1 or $2.
Yeah, and I like how you would have all of your characters together. Like that's one thing I like about other games where we don't have that, and I wish we did.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, I think we answered the first part of that one. What are your expectations on the upcoming soon TM RS3 mobile release? We talked about this a lot last week, Sirion and I, and just recapping with this, I think late September, early October we'll see a release of beta. With the release to
You're
everyone
ever the optimist.
Well, that's the track I think they're on, but I would expect a Q1 2019 full release, being February or March, maybe. That's where I think we're at with this. And, they did say they want to get into a faster production stream on that, so that was a little bit odd, too. But they can't do that right now. So
No, I have two expectations for mobile, really. Number one, they're not doing so well with this week. But number one, do no harm to the main game, and removing some mouse over text that might have been great for mobile, not great for the main game. And two, as long as they make skilling easy and doable, I don't really think they need to focus on making combat awesome on mobile, because I don't see anyone doing it. What I see is people with their alts on their mobiles doing skilling. Like, there will be some people that will do combat just for bragging rights. Just like, look.
Revolution Slayer tasks.
Right. Well, yeah, and there might be some of that. But for the majority of people, they're going to park their asses at a Saren Stone, and that's that. Or, so as long as I get that, it's really all I need. It's really all I want.
All right. Yeah, and they just need to make it fully featured so that it is an option. And I forget what the survey breakdown of it was, but bossing was down at the bottom. Let me see if I can pull that up here from that post, because that would definitely shed some light on this. But I think at the end of the day, this is something that needs to it needs to happen, and it needs to happen in a way that is thoughtful, but at the same time respects the game. Like you said, we had a number of those interface issues today.
Mm-hmm.
So, combat low-level bosses, 36% of the people said they'd play it regularly on mobile. Skilling, 97%. General combat, 55%. So Slayer and whatnot. Chatting with friends, 46%. And trading, 40%. So.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, and we already talked about the white party hat in the faces, so we'll jump on from that. Anything else on mobile or the DIY mentality of RS?
No, that's it for me.
Okie dokie
Not
then.
really.
Well, if you guys want to send in your own questions for next week's episode, you can do that. Email questions@rsbnb.com, or you can call or text 571-57BNB, which is 571-572-2632. You can also leave us a DM or an @ mention on Twitter @RSBNB. All right. You guys good for some tech news?
Yeah, let's hear about some Google trouble.
So... It was reported this week that Google has been hit with a 4.3 billion euro fine from the European Union regarding Android. And, when I saw this headline, I thought it was a bit odd, because Android is an open operating system. It has more openness than iOS. And, they cite in this that Alphabet, or Google, I guess you could just say, they've been given 90 days to change its business practices for this. But they basically say that anyone who uses Android is inherently funneled into the Google ecosystem for this, and, using Google search engines and whatnot, using Google services. So I don't know. I don't see why this is a case when, everyone in Android who uses Android has the ability to swap browsers, swap email clients, and basically decide what they're going to be using on their browser. Whereas if you have iOS, sure, you can install Gmail, you can install Google Chrome, but it's, you're not going to have your links that you open up from messages open in Chrome. You're not going to have, the default email alerts for Google Gmail. All that is going to be focused in around Mail and Safari on iOS. Basically, the way that they feel Google has acted illegally with this is that they require Android handset and tablet manufacturers to pre-install the Google Search app on their devices. They also made payments to large manufacturers and mobile network operators that agreed to exclusively pre-install the Google Search app, and it prevented manufacturers from selling any smart devices powered by forks of Android by threatening to refuse them permission to pre-install its apps. So it's largely, I guess, focused around the Google Assistant search side of it, from the sounds of it. What do you guys think? What do you think, Earth, based on your Android usage?
This is a weird thing. I'm not a huge fan of Google, and I had a Windows phone for a long time. And it died because Microsoft killed it. So I went with an Android because I just could not fathom having to be tethered to an Apple product again. And Android gave me the freedom to do more. Like, I don't have a single Google app installed on here.
Didn't you install the Microsoft launcher and whatnot?
I did, but Samsung's was actually better, surprisingly.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I think this is a little silly.
Yeah, it is. And I don't like monopolies. And I don't see Google
literally the
acting
biggest
monopolistic.
case against Google is or against calling Google a monopoly. If I want to go use Bing, I just type bing.com instead of google.com. It's that easy. If I don't want to use their email service, I don't. That's the problem with monopolies in today's age. And I mean, like I said, I have some issues with Google, and I've tried to use other search engines, but there is pretty much objectively the best.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you guys remember the 90s with Windows 98, how Internet Explorer and Windows Explorer were all intertwined with one another?
Google has done so much more.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I mean, even if you... I'm speaking from the iOS side now, but even if you had, the Gmail app on iOS, because I use that, it lets you choose if you're going to open it in Chrome or you're going to open it in Safari. So it's a choice. And I assume you have similar choice on Android. What you're going to open your links in and whatnot. So
yeah, let's see. I use, for my browser, I use Firefox. Let's see. I have Microsoft Authenticator, Canvas. It's a student thing. I have Discord. I have the open source app store F-Droid. I have my bank app. I have GroupMe, Netflix, NHL app, Skype, Spotify, Steam, Reddit, Xbox.
Yeah, so there's nothing monopolistic about that.
It's not like someone came to my house with a baseball bat and said, "Hey, friend, you better not install that."
Yeah, and
well, but I think we're missing the point of what the EU is saying here, because they're not saying that you don't have the choice. They're saying that the people manufacturing them aren't allowed to put competitors on there, so they're limiting competition.
Well,
okay, that's a good point.
That's anti-market based, right, Shane?
But yeah, sure. But here's the thing: when the iPhone came out, Apple went to all the carriers and said, "You guys are going to carry our phone. You're not going to put anything else on there. this phone is going to be the Apple phone. You're not going to put any of your crapware on there. So in a way, that's kind of the same thing. In that, when you're selling an Android device, you are in effect selling that Google Now experience, and I assume you can turn that off if you don't want that, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, like, I think they're just trying to not end up with the situation like, I don't know, HP computers. Like, you get one of those, there's so much crap on there.
And there's a different level of
I mean, there's a
quality.
different level of build quality too, but that's the device. You get what you pay for. Like, I can go out and buy a $10 shit phone that can run Android, or I can have a nice one like I have. It still runs the same operating system, but
See, I think this is hard because I'm in favor of anything that is trying to enforce antitrust is good, because we will never do it in this country. It'll never happen. So the mere fact that someone's trying to crack down, I mean, that's a good thing. But I don't know what they're cracking down against, because you're right, Shane. Apple is a much bigger culprit of this. They've been doing it forever. I mean, that's their business model.
Yeah, and on Apple, you just have three choices. You have Google, Bing, and Yahoo, or you don't even have Yahoo anymore. Just Google and Bing for searches, and Siri. You can't, you can't change what that's going to search with. So,
I mean, so another thing. One of the points in this article is only 1% of users downloaded a competing search app and 10% a different browser. If you're buying an Android phone, you're probably using Google already, and you probably already use Chrome.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that looks bad, but like, if you're using it, if you were using it on your computer, why would you swap? Like, I think that looks worrisome, but I think it's really, really misleading.
Yeah, it's like how most pure Mac users, people who don't use other platforms, use Safari.
Yeah, like, it just...
It's kind of selective reporting in that way.
Yeah, no, this is not...
And, you could look at bigger monopolies, too, as well. Like, let's just look at a modern definition of a monopoly and look at Facebook, because Facebook is intertwined with the network effect, in that if you attempt to leave that platform, you're locked in, because everyone you know is going to be on there. And how are people going to say goodbye to people that they only talk to them on that platform with, right? And so that's a bigger case. Why don't they go after them?
I wish they would.
So
I'd like them to hit all of them. Everyone that's engaging in this stuff.
There's not really any... I mean, Google right now is probably the worst about this, I would think, but I mean, they're not the only ones doing this.
Yep.
No, it's their sheer size. Like, I think they're so big that maybe that's the difference.
Yeah, it just, I don't know.
Could very well be. All right, well, we're going to move on to our next piece of tech news here. And this one is going to be good for anyone who is buying a new smartphone in the future. And Gorilla Glass 6 was announced from the Corning Corporation. And they say it's going to be able to withstand more drops than the previous glass did from higher heights. And they say, perhaps even more importantly, multiple drops per device. On average, in lab tests, Gorilla Glass 6 survived 15 drops from 1 meter onto rough surfaces, and is up to 2 times better than Gorilla Glass 5, according to the release from Corning. And under the same test conditions, competitive glass compositions such as soda lime and aluminosilicate did not survive the first drop. So this is important because, the iPhone 8 and whatnot and the iPhone 10 are wireless charging-based phones, and they do use a glass background. And, if you drop those phones, you're out of luck. So This is an issue for a lot of phones that I think we basically at this point necessitate a case. You guys use cases?
Yeah, I don't know why anyone wouldn't have like an OtterBox, because you can
the tank.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I use
I don't
the tank.
need a-
I mean,
I don't need an OtterBox. Like I've never dropped my phone. Like
Same.
literally never.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so most women's clothes don't have pockets. So like, and some don't always want to carry a purse. So like, I get that, but like, I have pockets. If I'm not using my phone, it goes like on the table next to me right now or in my pocket.
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
So,
And 1 meter, that's about 3 feet. So, but I think when it comes down to it, you're still going to want to be careful with this. But I think we all know how shatterable the iPhones are. So,
oh yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happens when this arrives in these new devices. So,
how much more it's going to cost us is what I want to know.
Yeah, the material is now available, so it should be in phones that are built and manufactured this fall. Maybe the new iPhone. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
All right, and final piece of tech news brings us back to Fortnite.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite video game.
I don't get it.
The battle royale
I just don't
phenomenon.
get it.
Fortnite surpassed $1 billion in revenue. Fortnite.
wow.
1 billion. 1 billion. So this was revealed in data published by a research firm known as SuperData, and it highlights, among other things, the $1 billion revenue milestone from the Fortnite in-app purchases, cosmetics, and the like. And you also get with this some graphs starting off in October 2017 showing how this just rocketed up all the way, taking what almost looks like, I want to say, not an exponential trend, but nearly there in February. Whatever happened in February? I think that's when we started playing it.
I wonder if that was like, was that around the whole like Ninja Drake Fortnite thing? Because that would be
I don't
crazy.
know. With this, it was also revealed that Fortnite is watched for 574 million hours on Twitch.
Yeah.
Blasted past League of Legends,
See,
even
that's
PUBG
just-
and Dota 2.
I don't know. I don't really like watching games on Twitch. I've done streaming before, but I don't get it.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree.
See, and my problem with Fortnite is like it was fun when I first started playing it, but it's such a repetitive thing. Like it's just battle royale. That's the only thing people play. And once you've played it a few times, it's the same thing.
You just got to go somewhere different.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere different to go. Like how?
Like
what?
that's my issue with it too. Like it was fun, a couple dozen times, but then after that, it's just the same thing again.
Yeah, you can't progress your characters. You can't. I mean, the only thing you can do is make them look different, and that costs you money. So I don't know if
and
I
they
think
made
if it
$1
wasn't
billion
for-
off of it.
But they made $1 billion off of 12 to 15-year-olds. I guarantee it. Guarantee.
Maybe that's Jagex's problem. Why they're not pulling this in. The RuneScape demographic has increased in age.
Probably. I mean, I don't know, but yeah.
And you can just see it surpassing all of these games, and I don't know.
I mean, good for them. They hit the right formula at the right time, but to me, it's absolutely boring. I mean, I even tried to stream it a little bit, and I'm like, I just can't. I mean, I'm not good at shooting stuff anyway, but still, like, I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over and over.
Also with this, games that have a battle royale component are set to earn 12% of all digital game revenue in 2018.
Oh boy.
So, it certainly is the new hot sauce, I think.
Yeah, and PUBG is pissed.
Yeah. Before it belonged to the shooter franchise, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 36% used to be shooters. Now, Battle Royale has filled that gap.
Oh, I see.
But isn't there a whole hell of a lot of overlap there? Is there any Battle Royale that isn't a shooter?
Yeah, that's right. And, I mean, maybe Jagex could get in on this too, and rather than doing another, what was it called? Dimension of the Dam.
Let's just stop right there.
What if they made
that?
What if they made a new RuneScape mode where you got maxed out and you got PvP gear and you basically had access to this account for 20 minutes and you got told to just kill people in RuneScape?
Yeah, it'd be like...
Not for me, thanks.
Wouldn't that be like the thing that they tried that was like...
Darkscape.
No. This was the Crucible. Didn't they try that with the Crucible? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. That got removed.
Yeah.
Except it was only limited to the Wilderness Crater.
Right, but they were ahead of, like, apparently they must have been ahead of the game, just too far ahead. No one did it.
All right.
I don't know.
Well then, everyone, there's your tech news. That's it for that. We're going to move on to our Skill of the Month update right now, and the July Skill of the Month is progressing along nicely. It's our Strength Skill of the Month, and currently we have Sorensen 57 in first place with 29.4 million XP gained. Second place is Pernasius with 18.1 million. And third place we have Jamo with 3.8 million XP earned. So largely the same as last week, so we'll just have to wait and see if anything changes before the end of the month. We also do have some achievements this week. But before we do that, I'll just take a moment to highlight our 2 Informer articles that we got going on this week. We got Sirion's What is Membership Really? Talking about the current state of RuneScape membership and what it means to be a member in RuneScape. So you can give that a read. And this is kind of spurred from Rune Pass as well when you think about it, because there were so many questions that came around with Rune Pass. So you want to know about membership, have a read at Sirion's article. But if you want a recap of Rune Pass, I don't know. Does anyone want a recap of Rune Pass, Stannis?
I don't think they do, but read my article and you'll see why it's not that big of a deal. Giving
Jagex a pass.
I get it.
That's right. And and our newest article is entitled "The Hood to Rule Them All." It's about the Hoodian faith of Clan Quest and how a subgroup of a gaming community can emerge and just become a thing. So all this and more can be read at informer.rsbnb.com. I see Earth here having a little smirk at something. I don't know what that's about.
I'm not rolling my eyes at anything. Nope.
All right. Well then, what do we got for achievements of the week here? Oh, I guess we said I was going first, I believe, for that. That's right. So starting off our achievements this week, Sinver got 99 woodcutting on July 17th.
I was supposed to do
Toragrai got 120 invention on July 15th. Congratulations to the both of you.
Swapped it on me, Shane. So Ezel got 99 rune crafting on July 14th. XGN, what is that, 0?
Yep.
Got 120 invention on July 14th, and Azel got 99 woodcutting on July 14th. So, yeah.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Nicely done.
Nice achievements.
All right, time for Pick of the Week. What do you got for us there, Mr. Earth?
Well, my pick is the Steam link, which I am going to show y'all, because I can do that.
Live demos here on RSBANDB Update.
Ooh.
And try to do,
this is a first.
And do try to be descriptive, because there are still people listening on.
That's true. So I got this. This is the Steam link for $2.50 from the Steam sale plus shipping, so it's like $10. And as you can see, it's like the size of a portable hard drive. Like I can literally fit it in my pocket if I wanted to. And I mean, I bought it thinking like, okay, this looks neat. If it works, fantastic. If not, I'm out like $10, right? It's not a big deal. I used to, because I like to play games like Skyrim, which I'll stream to my TV because it just feels more natural playing that way. But I have like a spare desktop that I use, and it's big and bulky, and it doesn't really fit nicely next to my TV. But I mean, this, like, you can stick this literally anywhere, and it's cool.
And according to Valve, its regular price is $49.99.
It's $40 when you're using a real currency, Shin. So, but my experience with it has been tremendous. My desktop that I used was wired, and sometimes it would lag, and there was significant frame rate drops, and it got all blocky and pixelated.
That'd be RTPC for you.
With this, it just sends a video stream over the network. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just works though, right?
But with this, it's wireless in 5 gigahertz, not wired like my desktop was. It's instant. The only time I have run into issues with like it getting blocky was so I was messing around with the Skyrim mod that gives you a spell, and when you activate it, it takes all of the NPCs in the area and sends them all like to you. It's called Actor Magnet. It's really stupid, and I just wanted to try it out because it was funny. And I mean, obviously, everything is suddenly going in one direction, and then they're all flailing about. Like, that's going to cause frame rate drops, and it would have caused frame rate drops even if I were sitting at my desk just playing it. That's the only time I've noticed an issue. Normal play, it's plugged directly into my computer. It's amazing. I paid $10 for this. I would pay $50 for it at full price.
I'd also like to...
It has been tremendous. Pick it up next time it goes on sale if you are looking for something like that.
I'd also like to point everyone to the promo video that Valve has here. There are the TF2 characters playing all different forms of video games, and it's TF2 style graphics. And they showcase the Heavy in a bathtub doing it.
In a what?
In a bathtub.
I don't think that's what you said, Shin.
I said bathtub. Or no, that's a spy in a bathtub. Sorry about that. But there we are.
What?
Shows all the different TF2 characters. And them in a house all playing different video games and whatnot.
So this is something that like it just allows you to play the games on your TV? Is that
how it
works?
Yeah.
And so it connects to your computer wirelessly and then projects to the TV?
So on the back here, it has power. Can you see this right, Shin?
Yep.
Okay, so there's power and then 2 USB ports, Ethernet and HDMI, and then there's one on the side here. And I can plug in a wireless receiver for the controller and control it. So, I'm fortunate in that the TV's on the other side of this wall. So I can just leave the wireless receiver in my computer here. But yeah, you can just stream it anywhere you have network connectivity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this is what they were attempting to do
cool.
with the iOS and Android apps for it as well. Obviously, this is the hardware version of it, so it's going to be a little bit more refined and whatnot. So, but I think it's I think it's a good piece of hardware.
If I'd known it would work this well, I would have bought it several years ago. So.
Well, that's really cool. Just because, like, I could use a TV, because obviously screens are so much bigger than the biggest monitor, and that would be really cool.
Yeah, and I mean it doesn't just have to be a.
Can you play keyboard-based games with it?
Sure, like it. Literally, there's just projection. It just takes what's on your screen and sends it. Like when I close out of Skyrim when I'm done playing, it shows my desktop, and I can control that if I want to. So, like, if you want to...
Could you play RS with it?
Sure. You can do anything you
And
want.
can you plug your keyboard and mouse into the Steam Link and have that be connected?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
All right.
But you only have the 2 USB ports, right?
Well, that's not a problem. You just get a hub.
You can put a hub.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, no, like...
I'm learning so much. Like, this
itself is not, like... It doesn't run anything. Everything is still running off of your computer, but it just streams it there.
I don't think we talked about network latency yet. How's that, like, in terms of lag, FPS lag?
That was one of the first things I said. None at all.
So you'd be able to play Overwatch with it then?
I mean, I don't like playing shooter games like remotely. I mean, you could, and it'd probably be fine. I mean, like the lag. I looked at the network stats. It was less than 2 frames at 60 FPS.
Okay,
so
that's not too bad.
20 milliseconds.
Okay.
So.
All right.
And I mean, input lag is like 1.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it looks like Valve sells it as well directly, so there's that's good. Wow, that's actually a pretty good deal that you got based on that.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I'm really surprised that they put it on. Now, keep in mind this was $2.50, not $2.50 off. It was $37.50 off. I got this for $2.50.
It's amazing.
So, yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they really must not be selling well if they're willing to take that much of a loss on it. I guess it's just not selling, and they're losing a lot of money in like holding it in inventory or something.
Apparently, it can work over 100 megabit connection. You don't need gigabit Ethernet.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, the bandwidth is pretty low too.
No.
I mean, it's like 30 megabits per second. I think. I mean, it can take as much as you give it, but that would also increase latency. So I just keep it set on automatic. And I mean, the quality is good enough. Like I said, it's like I'm sitting at my desk.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like I was expecting it to be good, but I wasn't expecting it to be this good.
Alrighty then.
If I turn off the like when I'm streaming, I don't want to see, or when I'm playing, I don't want to see the graph. Like I was interested in that when I first got it, obviously. Like I turn that off. Sometimes I forget that it's not actually plugged into my computer.
Good. That's really good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Look at Valve making gaming accessible to everyone. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you can find that on Valve. I've included a link in the show notes, which you can find at update.rsbnb.com.
Nice plug, Shane.
Indeed. So what have we been doing? Let's start with you, Tanis, since you weren't here last week.
Yeah, a few little Slayer tasks, but mostly going back to the energy gathering. I'm trying to finish off my Nox set, which I need a bow, and then I will I can be done and find something else to do from there. I don't know. Probably continue working on comp at that point, but yeah.
How about treasure trails and getting yourself a horse on a stick?
Yeah, unless it comes out of the oyster, I don't do clues. So.
Oh, right, of course. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
That's really been about it for me on RS.
Okie dokie. How about you, Earth?
Lately, well, literally last night, I bought Elder Scrolls Online. I've been working for the past, 2 days on a paper, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this, and when I'm done with my paper, I'm going to play this. And it's pretty good. I've just been able to play it this afternoon, but I quite like it. So
it's good. It's good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, Tanis here first introduced it to me, and I think the whole group is probably going to start playing it, or at least try it out.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as for me this week on RS, just slowly progressing towards that 99 invention territory, because I'm only a couple siphons away from that now. Either 1 or 2 on the scythe, or if my legs and armor get there first, we'll go with that. But aside from that, just divination gathering. And did I mention my weapon poison thing last week on the show? No, you weren't there. I don't know if I remembered to mention this on the show last week. But anyways, I gathered about 200 nightshade and used my poison ivy berries and coconuts that I had from farming, made weapon poison pluses, and netted about 5.2 million GP from that.
Wow.
Just by doing that, yeah.
Wow.
Is it 2008?
Poison actually works, I think, now.
Well, people use weapon poisons now because you just drink them like a regular potion, and then it just adds that stacking poison effect to your enemies that you're fighting.
I mean, it actually works on more stuff than it did when EOC first came out.
Yeah. And it was something
I drink the poison.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And then your enemies get poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Not you.
That's right.
You take no damage. That's the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
But it works.
I get from a mechanical aspect, why they did it like that.
For the game. Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
So,
go on, kids. Drink poison.
Yeah, when you attack your enemies, they'll die.
Yeah.
Hey,
what the hell?
That's what you learn when you hang around PVMers, that they like their poison.
Mm-hmm.
So they all drink poison
before they go into battle.
Yeah.
Man, explains a lot, doesn't it?
Well, on that note, I think it's time we wrap this episode of RSBANDB Update, the inaugural video.
Shane's cutting me off
episode
here.
of
too much.
Yeah, we don't want to encourage people to do that. The inaugural video episode of the podcast, and we see how Earth's already disappeared if you're watching.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's out. But if you want full show notes, you can find those at update.rsbnb.com. If you want to join us in-game, you can find us at Friends Chat, BitsBytes, and we're also on the Twitter machine at RSBNB, where we post neat little tidbits throughout the week. And, of course, remember our Patreon at patreon.com/RSBNB. So with that being said, we'll see you next week for another episode of RSBNB Update. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.